This is where the fun begins.
Prepare yourself for Star Wars, Shadows of the Empire. The evil Empire has struck back with a vengeance, and a new villain, the crime lord Shizor, schemes to replace Darth Vader as the Emperor's second-in-command. With Han Solo held frozen in carbonite by bounty hunter Boba Fett, it's the rebellion's darkest hour. Now, join Jedi warrior Luke Skywalker, hard-charging Chewbacca, and go undercover with heroic pilot Dash Rendar and his booming Outrider. But can Han Solo be freed and Shizor be stopped? Star Wars, Shadows of the Empire. Look for the authentic figures and vehicles from Kenner.
Hello, and welcome everybody. This is a spontaneous live, and let me go ahead and get this image out for a second. We don't want to stare at those crazy faces right now. Disney Star Wars associates, Disney Lucasfilm themselves is being intellectually dishonest here, and there's a lot going on and a lot that has caught my attention and continue to catch my attention. And so this isn't like your formal coffee chat or Talking EU or even our holocron journal here. So this is very casual. Let's chat. And so I'm going to go ahead and address everybody in the chat here. If you guys follow me on Twitter, you probably understand like, oh crap, she's frustrated because I'm like, good effing morning. And I have a reason for that, really. I do. So basically, thank you guys for coming in for a spontaneous chat on my channel here. I hardly have those anymore. So I have the Gordon Good Brother channel. Thank you. Young Ripa described bad YouTube shilling in his live stream today. I think you fit that description, OG, and I'm very curious about that. What did he say? I really don't watch his material. I'm aware of him. Once in a while, I'll go check it out, but I'm not really like a loyal, I guess you could say, YouTube subscriber. Holocron Library Fox. Hey, what's up? Same without the going live part. Yeah. And then that's my question about that. And Dad Man Walking. And again, those who are channel members, any live stream between now and July, I believe I put it, you can have a chance to win a copy of my Yoda painting. And I'm getting ready. I have my car now, so I don't have to rely on borrowing. So I'm getting ready to go make copies of the Son of Kifu and the Yoda painting, so I can get those copies out to the people and have that available for purchase for anybody who wants to support the channel. All right, so the Gordon says, dishonesty is not the Jedi way. Circumstantial short-sightedness may be. Very interesting. And then the Sentinel, I'm sorry to skip over you. Hey, O.G.Starwars. Hey, what's up? And again, thank you guys for joining in and hopping on with me. Very much frustrated, very much like at awe on how people are being intellectually dishonest as well as with themselves and falling for nostalgia bait, allowing their feelings to overcome them when it comes to this new series. Those who would defend George on the lore continuity for his movies are now falling onto the wayside, basically, and saying, oh, well, they didn't specifically say or state that they never fought, and not doing the research, forgetting that George's intentions was there was never a fight, because if there was going to be a second fight before the Death Star, George would have made sure he was the one that told the story, because those are his characters. There's a lot of heaviness and weight between that. If you get into the lore, you would know that in the novelization of A New Hope, which basically is Star Wars, is that it Obi-Wan specifically says that their last fight was on, was basically when Anakin was consumed or, by lava. So that's in the novels as well. That's the intention of George. And I'll be going through all of this as well. So let me go ahead and see who else is joining us. Bato. My first indication or introduction to Star Wars. Hello, and thank you. And that commercial got me so hyped back in the day. Yes. I was like 9 at the time, and they played it during X-Men, the animated series, after school. Good nostalgia. There you go. That's what you do to get people involved. When it comes to the movies, yeah, you want to report history, right? You want to report past history so that you're like, oh yeah, this is like, I can believe this world, right? But you don't use it for nostalgia bait. And this is what Disney Lucasfilm is doing, is that they're forgetting the historical part and they're using stuff for nostalgia. There's a huge difference between the two. Holocron, that's not something we get every day from you, right? And I used to be very spontaneous, and nowadays not really. Life has had me busy on my end, not on the social media end as much, and not on the YouTube end, which is social media. So I'm glad to be here with you guys. Orange Hat says we'll be lurking. Well, thank you so much for tuning in. And Bato, I'm sorry. The game made the Hoth battle seem like the rebels did more damage than the Empire did. I'm gonna have to go into that and look into that. I'm not very too game savvy when it comes to any franchises. So thank you. Well, to OG.Starwars Legends Girl, thank you so much, Ancient Hat, for coming in and modding as well. Thank you so much. And let's see here. Ripa said that if anyone liked him was a YouTube grifter by profession, as he is accused of being by certain hate watchers, he wouldn't criticize mainstream material, but ever overpraise it uncritically. Okay. Overpraise it uncritically. Interesting. And then Ancient One, hello. Thank you so much for being here. Jedi Padawan, what's up? Hello, we'll be listening and lurking. Thank you so much. Thank you. And let's go ahead and, speaking of like supporting and stuff like that, and giving members a chance to win a copy of my paintings for the continued support by purchasing membership. I also have my own merch here. Oh God, I thought I had my sound or music attached to that. I must have uploaded the file because I have two versions, one with and without music. Sorry about that. So that is basically just, I can use that towards the end of the end of the YouTube, like I'm a movie, and or at the end. So there you go. So sorry about that. I thought I had sound music attached to that, but there you go. So please, by support, purchase some merch. And speaking of, this will be used tomorrow. This is one of them. I decided to have her on 3 sides, basically. Hey, it's a Saj. Why not, right? Why not have 3? Yeah. So here we go. So this is part of the merch. And I'll be using this tomorrow on Coffee Chat. So I'm excited about that. And Lady Torio, hi, woke up. So here for a bit. Thank you so much. And you will be entered to win a copy of the Yoda painting, which I had put away. So it's around here, put away for now. Thank you so much. So what's going on? And I will share the screen now. So, last night I read the Vanity Fair article, and oh my God, it is so just disingenuous. That's like they're intellectually dishonest. I'm not going to go too much into it because I'm going to be on the Spacing Friday night, and we'll discuss this in depth. I'm so excited about that because I have a lot to say, but going to sleep and waking up to people like even using Screen Rant, where Vader's, some of Vader's quotes from Return of the Jedi. And they're like, oh, well, this was, doesn't specifically state that they didn't have a rematch and that this needs to be answered through a rematch or whatever a fan is spinning. I'm like, do your research here. Return of the Jedi is now after, A New Hope and Empire Strikes Back. So what he's referring to, that line where he says, Obi-Wan once thought as you, that's referring to Revenge of the Sith. Now, when Obi-Wan snuck on board with Padme on her ship when she went to go to Anakin's side, and when that confrontation first began, Obi-Wan was hoping, because he didn't want to fight Anakin. That's his brother. That's like his son, his brother, or whatever. He wanted to try to help him come back, not a redemption, but step past the line he's beginning to cross. He was hoping that he can just stir him into the right direction and help it. But then when Anakin was like basically saying like, if you're not with me, you're against me. And then that's when Obi-Wan realized that he's already past that line. There's nothing he can do about that. So there was that moment of helping him stir him correct, right? And getting him help. And when he realized that, Anakin basically was dealing in absolute, that's when, Obi-Wan's like, well, so be it then, and that's when they started fighting. So that's what that's about. And another part of that conversation was, if you read the novelization, basically what that conversation was with Luke in depth was basically Vader was starting to blame Obi-Wan for his fall. And Luke was like, you can't be blaming him, basically. So you need to do research on that. And this is where I go into the intellectual dishonesty of Disney Lucasfilm here. Now, Chow, and I'm only going to cover one portion of this, and we'll discuss this in spacing, so catch us Friday night on Open Airlock's channel. So Chow was the one who wanted the confrontation, and she got it. Now, if you know Filoni, now he's not in charge, but if you know Filoni, he basically was like going around saying, and I think George was being basically sarcastically joking, but Filoni took him literally. So if you know what he stated, and I'm going to say it right now, continuity is for wimps. I'm pretty sure that's what, the allowance was. Well, for the sake of, drama, let's go ahead and do that. Continuity is for wimps. George never followed continuity. That's bullshit. George followed continuity. Now, he wasn't beholden to the EU, but he did consider a part of the saga. So he had ultimate say. Not the authors, not the materials, and not Filoni. The Clone Wars isn't a part of the G canon, or never was. And so she got allowance to do that. And through that, fans started spinning, well, the conversations in A New Hope and beyond don't specifically state that they never fought. No, fans knew from the beginning that the first and last duel, even from reading the novels before the PT fully came out, is that this was their last duel from the duel that with the lava that consumed Anakin, right? So that once the PT came around, George then used the dialogue from the Death Star between Obi-Wan and Vader, or Ben and Vader, to build on the Mustafar scene. So I'm going to go ahead and share that with you right now. Let me pull that up. Let me see here. I have everything loaded up. I just got to bring it up, I guess you could say. That sounds funny. Let me see, make sure I have the right one. Here we go. All right, so here it is. This is from the development of Revenge of the Sith, based upon Star Wars, now we know as A New Hope. The duel on Mustafar was first indirectly mentioned. Now, see, they're indirectly. People these days want everything to be spoon-fed. It doesn't need to be, especially if you understand how development is. They're not going to say, oh, you remember the lava planet Mustafar where we fought? No, they're not going to say that. But they will refer back to, and that reference is back to Revenge of the Sith on Mustafar. So the duel in Mustafar was first indirectly mentioned in 1977 original Star Wars film, Star Wars Episode 4, A New Hope. The origin of the duel traced from original trilogy, such as the conversation between Obiwan Kenobi and Darth Vader aboard the Death Star, are Vader's numerous scars. The duel itself was first depicted on screen in 2005 film Star Wars Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith, as climatic battle of the film. By then, it had already been a highly anticipated event in Star Wars fandom. So there you go. So George specifically, let me get back to the window here, already knew, like even in his planning of the story, already knew how Anakin fell, or how Vader fell, or how the fall happened, where it happened, what was involved, basically the environment around it, right? He didn't have a name for it yet during the time. He just knew it as a lava planet. He just knew it as a lava planet. But once he started developing the prequel trilogy, and this is the very reason why he didn't allow authors to expand in that time frame yet, because he wanted to open up the world, because he has first say, which is very, I mean, respectfully, yes, he has first say. He is the creator, and then everything else after he sanctions and helps build, approve on, blah blah blah. So basically, he came up with the name to the location of the very first fight, and everything was made from the conversation from A New Hope and from the lore he set within the time frame, referring back to their duel that you read about in the original trilogy novels. And people are failing to realize this. And George basically helped sanction and write these novels in a sense to where they are given off a script as well. And so failure to do research and failure to even understand the context of the friggin' movies is outstanding to me. Especially those who say they've been fans since they were little. Now, I think this is all nostalgia driven. Everybody wants to see a new fight. The only fight was on the Death Star. Having another fight or two and having them meet takes away that drama and that anticipation. It makes that movie and that scene between Obi-Wan and Vader less impactful. So let's go ahead and check out the other remaining information I have here. And let me see here. What do I want to look at here? I am going to share the data bank. And if you guys watched my videos, you would know. I don't want to add you. Wrong one. I want to remove you. Thank you. You guys would know that I covered a lot of these already, and rightfully so. But I'm going to go ahead and share what is still on the StarWars.com data bank. And we all know that they take a while to change things, because everybody had a big old fuss about Filoni being promoted. Well, he's been promoted for a very long time. They just barely updated. Now, this is what was found on the data bank about the scenes of the movies here. And I have them compiled together because they go together, right? So Obi-Wan went into hiding on Tatooine. He would stay there for decades. So decades plural. We know it was 19 years, so it was just short. That's right under 2 decades, right? So it would be safe to say if you round out, it'd be decades, 2 decades. Adopting the name of Ben. The locals would refer to him as a crazy old hermit. So we already know the story here, but that specifically, those two, that sentence here, I wanted to touch upon, because he stays in hiding on Tatooine for decades. Now let's go to their last fight. Dark Lord, now rebuilt with cyborg machinery, confronted Kenobi as the Jedi was returning to the Falcon. After decades, there we go, decades, so 19 years, so just 1 year short, so we can safely round it off and say decades, Vader finally squared off against his former master. Let me repeat that. Vader finally squared off against his former master as a divisionary tactic to help the others escape. Now, this is Star Wars databank going off of the scenes in the movies here, going off the lore, George's intention. If this wasn't true, if they had a fight in between the movies, it would have been stated. And we'll get more into that, what George really, his real intentions were. I already shared that with the development already. Let me see who jumped on already. Hopefully I have a good crowd here. If not, that's okay, because this is very spontaneous. Rodimus Prime, hello. OG, did Anakin have any friends in the Jedi Temple besides Obi-Wan? Yeah, there were some friends there. There was also some people that didn't care for him. So it was a mixed bag for him, and maybe one day on Coffee Chat we'll discuss that. So thank you for the topic idea. Thank you so much for inspiring me. Steven, what's up? It's all about subtly, not evening needs to, or not everything needs to be explained. I know it's not. It's about the context. You know, you don't have to have it spoon fed to you. And I think growing up, like today, not many people read as much. We just are connected to our phones. Everything's about getting information quick, and that's what they expect with movies: is get information quick. It has to be spoon fed to you. There's no nuance. There's no exposition. Hardly. There's and context, it just has to be spoon fed to them. Vertical Horizons, hello. If Vader had an inkling of Obi-Wan alive still, he'd ransack the galaxy looking for him relentlessly and not allowing this nobody newcomer diversity higher character to hunt someone so personal to him, right? He would want to settle that himself because there's already that tension between the two. Soul Assassin, hey everybody. Is it Thursday already? Nope, this is spontaneous. And I look forward to that tomorrow morning. In fact, it's going to happen at 9:30. I do have a meeting I have to do at 8:30, but it's online, so I can switch. And we are going to talk about Sith. Who's your favorite Sith? Something I've been wanting to talk about lately. Sith, their mythologies, all of that. So stay tuned for that. I'll have that all ready to go tonight for tomorrow. So the stream made and everything. Jedi Padawan Trela, hey, people are trying to reinterpret Vader's line to Obi-Wan on the DS about being, and so DS who don't know Death Star, about being the master to say that somehow justifies them meeting again. No, because, oh yeah, I know what you mean. He specifically, and if you read the novel, it's very clear. He specifically means when I left you, I was still learning because learning is never ends, right? But once you become a master, that's when you're like, okay, I made it, even though you're still going to learn and you still have growth to do, blah, blah, blah. Once you become a master, you basically made it. Jedi Knights are still learning because there's still a lot of things they have to get through before they become master. So he was still a student or a learner under Obi-Wan, even though he says in the movies, don't call me master, blah, 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 or in the lore. And then he steps away. And he's always wanted to be a master, right? He's always said, I'm greater than Yoda. I'm greater than this person. I'm greater than that one, while Palpatine's feeding his ego. But you can also refer to he's the learner, as in he's barely became an apprentice to the dark side. And then once he sees Obi-Wan on the Death Star, he's like, I am the master, because he's prideful. He feels he's known a lot. He's grown over the years and stuff like that. So now he feels he has mastered, and now he's got it in his head, because the rule of two, that he needs to kill the Emperor. So he become the master, fully fledged, become the master based on the rule of two. So if you apply the story to that line, it makes sense. So there you go. Thank you for bringing that up. Let's see here. And anybody else here? So let's go ahead. So these two right here. So this is on the data bank on StarWars.com. So I'm going to pull up another one here and just go through these. Like I said, these are all on my community page, both here on YouTube and on Twitter. If I failed to share one, I will share it. So you guys can use that for yourself, save it, whatever. Especially when you come across a bonehead that thinks that they know what they're talking about. All right, so we're going to stay within the context of the story. Then I'm going to go into the developments again with the company. And then I'm going to share with you guys what Disney Lucasfilm has said about in their own material about their about this full circle thing. All right, so here we go. So this is from Star Wars A New Hope. And this is basically the conversation between Tarkin and Vader in the meeting room on the Death Star. So Vader says he's here, and then Tarkin goes and basically looks startled. He looks startled at Vader. So keyword, looking startled. Obiwan Kenobi? That's impossible. What makes you think so? And then so Vader says, a stirring in the force of a kind I haven't found only in the presence of my old master. It's unmistakable. And then Tarkin says, surely he must be dead by now. Okay, so this is getting good. Vader hesitated. His assurance suddenly gone. Perhaps. It is gone now. It was only a brief sensation. And then Tarkin basically says, the Jedi are extinct, declared Tarkin positively. The fire was extinguished decades ago. You, my friend, are the all that is left of their ways. Okay, so this is very key. Because if there was a meeting between Vader and Obi-Wan, Tarkin would know. Because Tarkin basically worked side by side with Vader. If you know the history, they work side by side. So what Vader knows, Tarkin already knows. Tarkin was always a step ahead of Vader sometimes, and that really pissed him off in time if you know the lore. And so that's keyword right there. And this is also in A New Hope, the movie. So another piece of evidence here, another piece of evidence right here that needs to be considered. And then say, Marvin, hello. The funny thing is about Vader and Kenobi battling in the new show, Disney already confirmed in their canon as well that they didn't meet again. Yeah, we'll get to that. And then Dadman Walking, I just don't see how another duel, much less two, doesn't destroy the original movie. And the concepts of the only rematch on the Death Star is going to be going into hiding, right? Let's see here. And who else am I missing? And here, Dermot, how are you doing? What's up? Dad Mad Walking says right here. And I said Dad Man instead of Dead Man. Woo! All right, please. Plus, Kenobi's presence would or should draw attention to Sith, especially Vader and or the Emperor. Just have a very bad feeling about what they are going to do. Correct. And Vertical Horizons, Lucas TV now. Since KK has no interest in making trilogies anymore, I don't think trilogies work for Star Wars anymore. Future of Star Wars is Disney Plus. KK, yes. And that's another thing, and this will be discussed on the Spacing Friday night. I will be on there as well. So we'll see what Tim has to say. And then I'll share my opinion too as well. So I'm looking forward to that. That's why I'm not specifically getting too much into the article. I want to save some of my thoughts for then. But I just want to specifically cover about Chow is the one that decided. So basically, I don't know. I think they're very disingenuous because I think one article from the past, not too long ago, stated basically that she wanted Maul. And then Filoni said, nope, why don't you do the confrontation between Obi-Wan and Vader kind of thing. And now she said it was her. Now it's stated it's her idea. I think that there's lying going on. And so we kind of see this back and forth that does not make sense. You know how when people lie and then the truth starts coming out, the more people talk. So that's what I think is happening because they know George's intention. And if Filoni was really George's apprentice, and I'm going to go there right now. So any Filoni fans, I'm not sorry. We love him. That you love him, that's fine. That's it. But I don't have much respect for him. So Filoni, if he was really George's quote unquote apprentice, and that he was really has the best interest for Star Wars, would know that George Lucas himself intended there only to be two duels, and that's Revenge of the Sith, and that is A New Hope. So this is where I question Filoni and his bullshit. Because if he really knew George's intentions, if he really was this apprentice and knew Star Wars so much, the lore so well, then he would be like, nope, there's no second duel, or there's no second or third duel before, A New Hope. So I'm going to call this bullshit out. And I will talk about it this Friday as well, so stay tuned. Let me see here. Hits the like button. Yes. Gotcha. Best to save it. Yep. Yeah. So I will reshare some of this if I forgot to share on my YouTube community page. All the stuff that I'm sharing here, so you guys can save it for yourselves here and share. One thing I did not share, you can catch my video on it. I did share a clip from Open Airlocks, and I'll share the description or the link in below in the description here. So Assassin, if you can go get that, but it's about the interview of Ewan McGregor and even Hayden Christensen that was shared at a marketing summit where they specifically say that George was tying ends up. So open air or soul assassin. Yeah, go ahead, and if you could find that link, share it here, and people can go back and give that video some more views for open, because that's critical to what I'm presenting here as well. And you guys can do your own research with what I provided and what open airlock, and make your own conclusions here. So Dadman says, could they possibly be hyping a rematch but end the season as the entire series being a dream? That would be fucking ridiculous. Why in the hell, after 10 years, would Obi-Wan be dreaming about fighting and dueling Vader? Honestly, why? Now, I could see that after, like, a year or two into exile. Even the timing of the series, having it in between, like, almost smack dab in the middle of the movies, of the trilogies, makes no sense, especially when they want to share Obi-Wan as like this, like, I am just so defeated and I'm disconnected from the Force and I'm just so sad and I don't have a home, so I'm hiding out in caves. That's bullshit. That stuff should have been happening early in his exile. We should be seeing some resolution now. We should see him now training and connecting back with the Force, communicating with Qui-Gon. Keep an eye on Luke, even if he's not interacting. And this is the time frame where nothing should be really shared about Obi-Wan anyways, because he's so enthralled or like just so into his exile and his mission that nothing's really going on other than protecting Luke, keeping an eye out, staying to his training that was summoned upon him through Yoda. This is a time where this is not needed. It would make more sense if it was like a year or two after Revenge of the Sith, which is why Kenobi novel and The Last of the Jedi makes sense. And even the story of him that with Sharad Het. Now that flashback that Crate talks about is shortly, I would say, like 17 BBY or something like that. So it was like basically we have all those going back to back. So that happened after The Last of the Jedi. And that's it. And then nothing else. He doesn't leave. He stays put. He trains. He realizes him being hopeless, living in fear, what ifs, doubt, all of this, all these emotions, these negative, sad emotions consuming them also is disconnecting him from the Force. And that's what you learn in Last of the Jedi. And I will be doing my video here pretty soon. My voice is finally back. I'm hoping to get it done by the end of this week so you guys can listen about that book and pick up that series, and I'll share links with you guys and how you can purchase that without having to spend, give an arm and a leg or your next born or whatever. But yeah, so everything should have like any kind of doubt, any kind of missions off planet, all of that should have been taken care of like just within a year, not even 2 years of his exile. And so I'm going to go ahead and go into that, and then I'll go into you guys' comments real quick. Let me just go ahead and close that out. And you guys could tell I'm kind of like just disgusted. I am done. It's like people need to get some common sense and apply critical thinking, know that what the context means in the movies as well, and that George, if he intended another battle, he would be telling the story. And he's done. Even like there's no story for him to tell in between the movies. That's why he never did. And people don't realize that's the story that he probably would want to tell. And so let's go ahead and go into the next one I'm going to share with you guys, and then I'll share what the company states here. All right. So here we go. So this is from the what's it called again? Now, see, shit, look at now I'm like, oh, it's right here. So this is from the Essential Reader's Companion. See, like I lost my train of thought because I'm like, my mind is going a mile a minute here, you guys. You guys are getting O.G.Starwars in the raw, like almost ranting and raving, not quite raging kind of deal. So this is from the Reader's Companion, and it deals with Last of the Jedi. So this is about the development. So they do have continuity, little scripts in here about like behind the scenes or within the lore, what have you. So it states here, early in development, the Last of the Jedi series was envisioned as a continuing adventures of Obiwan Kenobi. But Lucasfilm ultimately vetoed this concept, reasoning that Kenobi would never venture far from Luke Skywalker unless exceptional circumstances demanded it. Almost a year has passed between the events of, episode 3 and this development here. So keywords, he would not stray far unless necessary. He did in the first 2 novels of the series, but the reason was exceptional because the visions and the story and everything that he reads, all the reasons he left, and I'll go into it when I do my video, is to make sure all evidence of the twins' birth on Polis Massa was basically destroyed. There's something that happened, and I will go into the story once I do the review of the book, so you guys stay tuned for that. I'm excited about that. And so this is it right here. And so basically there's no adventures, basically say no adventures, nothing after this, basically unless necessary. Now you can go back and say, well, Disney Star Wars basically gave him a reason. Now, I'm going to tell you this. When Obi-Wan took off on this mission, Qui-Gon basically, quote unquote, kept watch. But he knew in the Force, Qui-Gon, because he's one with the Force as a Force ghost, knew in the Force Luke would be okay. They barely made their way to Tatooine, and so this was like not even a year or so after. So everything was being settled in. Nothing. They don't even know Luke exists. They should not know Luke exists. So he's still basically a newborn or toddler by then. Yeah, and not newborn, but toddler by then, or almost. Yeah, so Qui-Gon's go take care of this because something is telling me in the Force that this has to do with keeping you safe and the twins safe in exile. If you don't go take care of this, it's going to compromise everything. So when he does, and so I'm kind of spoiling this for you guys for my review, when he does, he has no interaction with Vader whatsoever. None. So this is a way they could have done it without having to compromise A New Hope, but they don't. So that's the argument against someone says, well, this doesn't mean, there's an exceptional circumstance. Yeah, but then you're getting him involved with Vader, which breaks the intention of lore and the continuity that was set behind it. So there you go. So there's that. Let me go ahead and read what you guys have to say now. Like I said, this is like OG uncensored, kind of thing. Not exactly raging, but still. Oh, okay, I read that. So let's see here. Right on track. Lucas TV. Okay, I read that one. Let me see here. Hold on to your hat. Filoni writers. Oh my God. If you guys seen that crazy ass post I put it with the Filoni's cowboy hat on the directors or editors or director's chair. You guys, yeah, I had to go there. It was kind of disgusting in a way, but still. The fact they still won't pick up a phone and call George to ask questions like, is it okay if Vader and Obi-Wan have a 3rd and 4th duel, tells me how shit this is going to be. They don't care. No, not even Filoni. Filoni doesn't give a shit. It feels kind of, 1, cheesy, and 2, kind of robbed. I guess it doesn't feel unnecessary to have them battle in between 3 and 4 and robbing the reunion of Battle 4. And then what I care about is the lore that George created. That's me too. I don't care. Like this is about a total reboot. They will remake, probably not in our generation. We probably won't see it, but they will remake it. They will remake an OT to fit what they're doing now. But I will call out the bullshit anyways, because this harms George's lore. But this is also in Star Wars, or in name only. Because the company that owns it now, they only can make Star Wars a name only. They can't make canon according to George and his intentions, because they are not the original creators. So it's in name only, and they can only produce their own canon. It's not George's. It's not original Star Wars canon. And so if you want to see a link, or want to see a video about canon and its history, open airlock again. I'm gonna throw it out again. Go watch his video about canon, well researched. You will learn things because it not only talks about Star Wars, but it talks about canon history basically. So go ahead and check that out. Phantom Menace review PS1. There you go. He says, O.G.Starwars, you should check this out once you, seize a chance. Thank you so much. I will. Dadman says, I'm sorry. It was the only thing I could come up with. That's okay. Vertical Horizons. If you look at the poor Hayden Christian in the promo he's doing for Kenobi in interviews, he looks very similar to Mark Hamill face of horror doing press. And that's one thing I noted on Twitter. And I have Star Wars Insider 81. I don't have 82, but 82, I'm going to share a clip of a screenshot of that open airlock shared with me, and it's from 82. I have 81, and it talks about the rematch. Not the rematch, but their Mustafar versus Death Star, all that. So we'll go into that here pretty soon. But I noted how watching the past making of like Revenge of the Sith and reading the interviews of even Ewan McGregor and Hayden and watching them talk on the commentaries on the behind the scenes, basically they like their demeanor, their like body language was very, very positive. It was very like you got into it, you seen their hard work, right? But when you see these interviews that they've had within the last month or without whatever, whenever they had them, they looked kind of defeated, like, oh shit, what am I doing? There's like the body language is very telling, very telling. And so I pointed that out on Twitter. Mark Hamill said it best. Even if he's traumatized, he'd take 6 months to regroup, right? 6 months, a year, because Jedi don't give up. Yep, Kenobi should have been done. Kenobi should have been like now focused on his mission, on protecting Luke, training, and staying hidden. The Sentinel. You could have had Qui-Gon talking to Obi-Wan through the Force. No Jedi spirit required of a lot of time during the show without the need to throw him under the crosshairs of the Empire, right? Yeah. Whoops, that jumped. Woohoo, you guys are hopping today. Thank you guys. This is very spontaneous. I got 30 beautiful souls here. Thank you for watching. Thank you for seeing, O.G.Starwars in the raw here. Not exactly raging, but yes, I'm kind of disgusted here a little bit, and it's telling. So enjoy this while it lasts, you guys. And of course, coffee chat tomorrow morning, 9:30 a.m. So stay tuned. Well, I guess I'll just harness my Sith, the dark side, and that's what we'll talk about, Sith and all that, the rule of two, all of that. So and here you go. So there you guys go. So you guys go ahead, and if you haven't subscribed to Airlock, go ahead. And then this is the video here as well for the Revenge of the Sith. That is something great to look into. And then Vertical Horizons, I'm calling it that Qui-Gon won't be in Kenobi at all. They haven't even said anything, so we'll find out what happens. Would cost, or whoever watches it, and I will watch reviews. I won't review it. My last time I did a series review was Mandalorian first season, and I was done. I'm like, I can't do this anymore. No. So I did my research. I watched other people's reviews, good and bad, those who favor the lore, those who are like calling out continuity errors and stuff, just to kind of get an even keel on things and an understanding. And then I discussed it. So people think, oh, well, you need to watch the whole thing to have an opinion. No, you don't. You can do your friggin' research, So there you go. It's like saying you have to be in World War II to write a report. That's bullshit. I'm just going to use that example. All right. Let's see here. Soul Assassin here. Yes, there you go. Thank you so much. Let's see here. The Sentinel, we need to take a deep breath because it's going to get worse as it gets closer to the release date. I know. And so on the 25th is supposed to be HoloNet Journal live stream, and that's also the anniversary of Star Wars. So I don't know if I'm gonna report like basically news like this date and time during Lucasfilm pre-Disney. So I don't know if I'm gonna have anything lined up like that. but I want to do, I want to praise and commemorate what George brought to us and go into the history of that. I wanted to try to see if I can get some, co-hosts on or special guests, but I haven't reached out yet. So we shall see what develops, but I want you guys to be there. That's on the 25th, 7:30 p.m. So please join me for that. Please tell everybody, your mother, brother, whoever loves or pre-Disney Star Wars to come join me. Maybe I can have open airlock policy on. Who knows? But I think that it's a time to celebrate Star Wars and its original intent, its original lore. That's the best time ever to do it. And so I look forward to spending that time with you guys. Even if I'm by myself, let's have some fun with that, you guys. Let's just enjoy Star Wars in its heart. And that's George Lucas era. Let's see here. There we go. O.G.Starwars Unleashed. Yes. Okay, Marvin. So basically, this show is because they want to push ideology and know they're in trouble, and Obi-Wan would just bring them money. Right. They have to push it some way. They're all about nostalgia now. Where did I see they did talk about it just being, like bringing nostalgia, basically. And I need to find where I read that out, and who said that. And I think it was Kennedy, but I'm not sure. So I don't want to specifically say who was responsible for that quote, but it's just telling. So I need to find that before Friday so we can talk about that, or even before tomorrow. I don't mind reporting some news. Ronan Blade, hey, what's up? Kennedy, in her own words, claims she is a terrible creative person. Of course, she has no idea what she's doing. She basically said, it's a big mistake to try to recast these iconic characters with the people who, played them, Mark Hamill and, of course, Harrison Ford and so on and stuff like that. And so it's telling. And so they're going to stick with CGI. That's what this is all about. They're going to go ahead and stick with CGI, which to me, you can only do so much with the reface CGI bullcrap. Eventually, you can't have the same stunts and stuff. And basically, mark my words, you guys, pretty soon, acting is not going to be a thing. They're just going to go ahead and animate and just have someone just like provide the body, put it on computer, and they don't have to worry about anybody acting it out anymore. And then just do a voiceover. There you go. So it looks like, maybe the history of filming and actors and of having actors and actresses is going to start fading within another decade or so. You never know. There's a mountain of contradictions from multiple big mouth pieces at Lucasfilm. Nobody knows what the heck is going on. It's a game of telephone between creatives. Yeah. It's like, oh, what'd you say last week? Okay. Let me go ahead and take a drink here. Yo, Subhuman84, what's up? Indeed, the Sentinel. Now my throat is getting harsh here. Soul Assassin says Disney planned to remake everything from the beginning. Yeah, that's why they said no more EU. They can't decanonize him, but they don't have to use it. So it's never that. And it says this rematch won't be the first one. Next will be the Wampa versus Luke, Jabba versus Leia. Right. Oh my God. Woo! Okay, so let's go ahead and go into one other thing I want to show. There's a couple more things. All right. So you still have me here, still venting and just like unleashed, I guess you can say. So here we go. All right, so this is from basically like, this is an essentials book about lightsaber duels from Lucasfilm. I forgot to download the cover so to show you guys what exactly the title of this book is, but this is Disney's Star Wars here, okay? And it's about lightsaber duels, lightsaber duels or whatever. And so this portion it says the circle is complete. So basically we know that's basically now the circle is complete is what Vader says. A generation later, Obiwan Kenobi would face Darth Vader once again. While Vader wanted revenge, Obi-Wan was focused on buying time for his friends, including Luke Skywalker. Their duel was careful and measured compared to the previous meeting. Obi-Wan movements were slow by age and lack of practice. Darth Vader recalling the grievous injuries he suffered during their last encounter. Let me read that again. Darth Vader, recalling the grievous injuries he suffered during their last encounter, fought his former master with apprehension while his cybernetic body reduced his actions. So their last encounter. So there we go. So that's referring to Mustafar. That is referring to their last duel where he got burnt up. This is Disney. This is Disney right here. And that data bank about the movie scenes, that's still Disney. That's still up on Disney Now, who owns it, Star Wars. So there you go. And so I'm going to go ahead and share one last clip. I don't really want to pull up there we go. The video clip from Open Airlock's video. So that's why I had Soul Assassin share the link. So I encourage you guys go over there. Tell them I sent you. Leave a comment too. When comment saying I sent you, and comment what you think about it. So, and here we go. I'm going to go ahead and share this here. Let's see, window. Nope, I need Chrome tab. Here we go. Now this one is from Insider 82. I have Insider 81, and 81, 82 goes into the development of Revenge of the Sith. And I wish I had 82. I don't. And this is what is being said right here. And I think this is Hayden here. So what do you think audiences would look forward to the most in Revenge of the Sith? So I think what, Open Airlock said, this is from Hayden Christensen. It has to be the final showdown between Obi-Wan and Anakin, Darth Vader, because there's so much at stake at the point in the film. Anakin has already made a distinct commitment to move away from some of the values that he held before. And in a lot of ways, he is martyring himself, his love, and his friendship with Obiwan Kenobi to do what he feels is right. There's a lot resting on this last fight, or this last sequence. And the way it's played out in the script is really clever. I think it'll be very rewarding for everyone who goes to see it. So basically, this is their final showdown. So this is the final showdown before the Death Star. That's what he means, before the Death Star. Final showdown, because they already did their first showdown that we seen, which is their last one, basically, because how George, did the last portion of the story first and the beginning last. So basically, this is their beginning of their last showdown. Basically, there's only two, and this is Insider 82 here, and so more evidence here to what's going on, what had really happened, and they are ignoring. That's why I say they are being intellectually dishonest. All of this is at their fingertips to research. Disney Lucasfilm has everything that's been published, even all the insiders, in their archives. They know George's intention of the development of Revenge of the Sith on Mustafar, the duel on Mustafar, the confrontation between Obi-Wan and Anakin, and how it was built off on the lore based upon their talk on the Death Star in A New Hope, their confrontation on A New Hope, and, basically the storyline that George was developing, because they basically said, Obi-Wan was telling Luke that, the last time, that they met was when, basically, he was burned on Mustafar. He didn't say Mustafar, but he said lava, because like I said, George didn't have a name for the location yet. He had a description for the location. The description is right on. The name, we don't have to know, right? But the description is very telling. And for people to, again, like I say, not do the research, forget about the context, or maybe even thought and decided to change their minds because they want good Star Wars, are hypocrites. I would say that, yeah, they're probably stupid because, and they're being dishonest, because if they're willing to now defend Disney Star Wars after years of of defending George Lucas's Star Wars. I'm like, why are you jumping the fence on this? Why are you jumping the fence? Do your research. Just because, the context doesn't specifically say, doesn't mean that, they, that I'm just like, I'm becoming deflated now. It's like so discouraging. So, it doesn't mean that that was their last, that they didn't fight before. It specifically is that they only had 2 fights, basically, is what I'm trying to come to in this conclusion. My mind is like still going a mile a minute. Jedi Rister, what's up? Another channel member. Again, all those people who are coming in that are channel members, your names will be entered to win a copy of the Yoda painting. And Open Airlock Policy is the one that won the special drawing, and I'll be getting that out to you soon, so I'll be sending you an email on that. We know they would do this to Star Wars. Yeah, we knew that was happening. And so those people who are now defending this, like, well, they don't specifically say, you are just like pandering and allowing this further destruction, I guess you could say. I don't know. I'm at a loss of words because there's some people that I love and respect that are like, oh, well, they don't specifically say. Hopefully this information I provided for you guys helps you come to the conclusion, helps you to realize that what George's intention was, and helps you realize that Chow, Filoni, Kennedy, yes, Kennedy's still involved. She's even in the Vanity Fair interviews and stuff. Are being intellectually dishonest. Even Chow. They say, oh, well, we, made sure that, we are being true to the lore. Bullshit. Because you already showed us with the book of Boba Fett that you're not true to the lore. You already showed us with the Mandalorian that you're not true to the lore. So don't tell me now that you're going to be true to the lore. That's fucking bullshit. All right. Holocron Library Fox, great. Then we'll have North Korean quality style, politically pure products from not actors. Like, stick something in the spokes of that plan. Yeah. Oh, God, that sounds like a mess. A mess. Let's see here. Thank you so much to my mod. Thank you so much. And then the Sentinel. Oops, I thought I clicked on it and I didn't. That's a perfect description of that duel. Let's see here. The sycophant Disney Star Wars fans were attacking Marcia Lucas after the KK and J.J. Abrams jab. And that was also against RJ as well. But I guess he wasn't good enough for her to even mention his name, because she did reference The Last Jedi too in that. They will cope and accept anything because new content. I know. Woohoo! Thank you guys. And again, I have like over 26 people in here. Press the like button, please, and share out this and share with friends after I'm done here. I'm pretty sure I'm going to get a wave of like Disney, warrior protectors, lore protectors. Oh, you're just hating and it doesn't specifically say and blah, blah, blah. And where did George specifically say that? Blah, blah, blah. So I'll probably get that. Dicare, Filoni and a Favreau need Filoni and a Favreau. I love that. Need to be supported. Supported is the reason why some are now this way. I know. All for good Star Wars. They're saving Star Wars, you guys. It's saved now. And this picture right here, I'm going to bring it up because I'm going to grace you guys with this lovely picture that we can all cringe at. All because of these guys right here. Star Wars is being saved. That they're honoring the lore. They're honoring George's legacy. All 4 of these people right here. All of them. And look at it. It's evenly balanced. 2 men, 2 women. There you go. You got balance here. So fucking stupid. All right. The Jedi Rifster. The Blandalorian, you mean? Right. The Blandalorian. Holocron. We've damaged Disney's income in the turn of hundreds of millions now. Discouraging us is very important to them. That's why we're being trolled. Maybe this is a troll, and if it is, it's a very expensive troll, which means they further don't give a shit about the lore. Really. And so much that they don't care so much losing money, millions. You know what? Star Wars isn't their only IP. So I don't think that this even matters. It doesn't. I tried watching Rogue One, laugh a lot. I couldn't get through it. Talk about bland. Yes, just go and reread the Dark Forces novels. Go play the games related to that. And on Stig Kenobi's YouTube channel, he does have the audio on the Dark Forces as well. So go check that out. Vertical Horizons, the Civil War has been won. Yep, right there. The Civil War is won. Look at that. Look at all the victors standing there together. Standing there together. You know, and oh my God. Okay, so I was looking at this picture, you guys, and I want to show you something that's fucking cringy right here. I don't know what kind of face this dude is making. Let me go ahead and just open up this window here. I don't know if he's got no denture, like no teeth, and I'm talking about Filoni here. Let me see if I can, how well I can screen this in. Oh, that's as far as I can go. But I don't know if he's sticking out his tongue. He's got a weird bottom lip, or his mustache is placed weird, and he's smiling, he doesn't have his denture in, or I don't know. But that is a fucking cringy smile right there. I don't know what the hell's going on with that shit. And I was looking at that last night, and I'm like, oh God, that's okay. Okay, I'm done. I'm done. Sorry I had to like make you guys suffer with that, but I thought I'd share. So I try to zoom in as much as I could. So if you guys want to go ahead and zoom in on yourself, at your own time, if you dare to, it's like it's hella cringy. It is. It's hell of cringy. Okay, Vertical Horizons. Willow and Indiana Jones is all Lucasfilm has. I don't even want them to touch anything else. Indiana Jones, who knows how that's going to come out? Who knows? We'll probably have a lot of people ranting about that. Ronin Blade, Disney is a Star Wars light. No substance, but still new characters and nostalgia. Remember when? Remember when? Remember when? Instead of referring back to history and building upon that, it's all about, oh, remember when? Remember when? With poor storytelling. I was just about to say that creepy Dave Filoni. Right, it is. Woo! Hashtag, oops, I thought I pressed it. Woo! There we go. There we go. Holocron, it does matter, Laura, because they want to have full control. They still have full control. So, I mean, the Disney company is a monopoly. They own so much. If you look up the history of everything Disney owns, they are a monopoly. So they have control of everything. No, please don't zoom in on Ahsoka's boyfriend. I already did. I'm so sorry, Becky. And hello, how are you doing, darling? The Gordon. That's the oh God, that's the Taika Waititi. I'll ruin your mythos shit-eating grin. My God, shapeshifter right there. At least my image is covering Filoni's face for the time being. Filoni, the only person who proves black clothing makes you look slimmer. I don't know. I think he's the one that proves that it doesn't. I don't know. Who knows? Mr. Ahsoka. And then Vertical Horizons. Maybe that's why Deborah Chow is pushing away from Filoni. I don't know. I have no idea. She's the one who totally was like, okay, we'll do this and that. So she's a yes person as well. All these people are yes person to the woman in white right there. They are all yes. So there's people I've heard said that criticize George with surrounding himself with yes people for the prequel trilogy, which he's the boss. He surrounded himself with yes people for the OT. But George got himself more involved with the PT than he was with the OT, even though everything we know and we see came out was approved by him and what he wanted, right? So now we're looking at a yes group to a person who really doesn't give a crap about the lore. I would like to say that because she's the predecessor to George, that she would, but history and is only discovering and telling us what's going on. And apparently she's not protecting the legacy. Even if she tried, and there's proof, because Disney basically has the ultimate say. And they've stated that many times. But you would think like she would be like, I tried my best to keep in continuity, blah, blah, blah. No, she's not. There's this chain reaction happening. Disney is like, George George put her as president. We honored that. We want her as president as well. That's why we're keeping her. And so now she's, in charge of this company, and she's brought on the story group, which basically can't veto anything because they said they can't veto decisions of films and movies or whatever goes. So what the hell is the story group for? So there's no person to help course correct any continuity errors like there was during George's time. Even though they say he surrounded himself with yes people, there was still the continuity, um, you know, um, people who helped course correct. And one great example was when George was like, I want to use Darth Talon for a movie. And instead that turned into being a game. And so when they started developing the game, this is right upon the buyout. So this is called the Battle of the Sith. They're like, well, this breaks continuity because Darth Talon isn't in this timeline. She's in that. And then he's like, okay, well, here's the options. How about, let this be a descendant of Darth Maul or a clone or what have you to help keep continuity. And that's what they were playing with. It's keeping continuity and keeping it in the legacy timeline. So that's proof that he did care about continuity. Even though he had these ideas, he had people to help course correct him to keep in line with stuff. And Filoni dishonors that cowboy hat. Yeah, he does. Filoni ruined cowboy hats for me. So sorry, the Gordon. A direct employee isn't necessarily a yes man. George hired facilitators, and a lot of them ate good off those Lucasfilm jobs, correct. Filoni is not even a real cowboy. He's a fake. He thinks he's cool. It makes him look like a spaz. And then Holocron Laura. Non-Disney media just crushed the Galactic Star Cruiser. We, not only our little corner, damaged the reputation of their project so much their stock almost drove 50. There's a lot of stock going down, not only Disney's. So, I mean, maybe we'll discuss that in spacing. I don't know. So, but stock is plummeting everywhere right now. We are in a recession, you guys. We are going through some hard times right now, thanks to our government and the president and stuff. So there you go. But I'm not going to get into the political part of that. George still had talent and ability to tell a cohesive story, even if he said he had yes men around during prequels. And then he sold Lucasfilm to save jobs. Right, he did that, and so we could still have Star Wars. Not because he was like, oh, fans hated the PT. No. The main, pushback on the PT was from media influence and media. Yes, there's always people that are not going to like, a movie. Even if it's popular, you're still going to have someone that doesn't like it. That's just the nature of being human. But the PT, the hate was ran by media. And then, oh wait, let me see. I didn't read that. The entire backstory of the Maul game is insane. Very sad we never got. I know. I remember I did a video on that, and that's freaking crazy. That would have been amazing. Imagine fighting, like eventually having Darth Talon and Darth Maul fighting. Oh my God, I bet you people would have eaten that up, and that would have been a huge success. Huge success. Star Wars uploaded another memberberry ad, this time with Ewan narrating it and footage from all his appearances in Star Wars. Again, they're trying really hard to bring us in. Don't break now. Yeah, stop leading with your emotions. Stop getting baited by this nostalgia. Okay. Oh, hey, Stig, what's up? So Stig says the people who shield for Disney Star Wars are getting the rotten ending they deserve for the Kenobi show. There you go. And Marvin, also in my earlier message, I meant it wasn't necessary. Sorry about that. I know I was kind of confused. I just figured it was a mistype. Ronan Blade, can't wait to see Geode in Obiwan Kenobi. Kenobi will trip over him. Yep. And then he'll have him pilot him off of Tatooine. Because, just like, they found Han and, they took the Falcon out in A New Hope. He's going to trip over Geode. Geode's going to be like, hey, you need a ride? And he's going to like, yep, all right. I have the fastest ship in the galaxy. Watch. Oh, God. No. I just wrote a story for them. Ugh, gross. Soul Assassin. I believe Lucas was sabotaged before any game company got to speak with him. A team of suits would show up and tell him to agree and not question. Interesting. Ancient One. Woot, Stick Kenobi. Hello, hello. All right. And let's see. Vertical Horizon. Weak, bland content like Disney is the last of my concern with what is necessary, especially now. Right. Again, like I've always said, the heart of Star Wars is pre-Disney. There's so much material out there. You can go through the whole entire EU and even watch the movies in correct form of the timeline and still be enthralled and deeply immersed in it for years. And so I recommend that. I recommend that. And hello, Miss Martin Muses. How are you doing? Thank you for joining us. Let me see here. I don't want to miss out anybody else here. Okay, David Chilson, hey, what's up? And again, membership's always open, you guys. And any member that joins now and comes on live stream will have a chance. Live stream, not scream. But yeah, I felt like I was screaming earlier. I could have been. We'll have a chance to win a copy of the Obi-Wan, or not Obi-Wan, geez, I should make an Obi-Wan painting, but a Yoda painting, the Yoda painting I did. And now that I have my vehicle, I am going today or tomorrow to make prints so I can get those prints out to those who won those paintings and then have prints available. So there you go. And then I'm deciding the size for the Yoda. I think I'm gonna do an 8x10 this time because just to honor his size. I don't know. I'm just being nerdy about that. I don't know. So we'll see. Holocron. I know about the recession. I know it's not only a factor, but the Phantom Menace is still a thorn in their side. I think a lot of fans, OG fans, basically, George Lucas era fans, are thorn in their butts. And by seeing Disney shills react with us, yes, we are. They don't want us to talk bad about, or they don't want us to critique and talk and even share our displeasure about it because it hurts their feelings. It hurts their feelings. And you know what? You can kiss my ass because I'm going to talk about it. I'm going to talk about the lore and continuity that's broken. I am going to give my opinion about that. And if you don't like it, don't watch me, block my channel. Don't come on here. And if you get so pissed off and your feelings hurt about someone's opinion about someone and how someone feels, I think you need to grow thick skin and get a freaking life and stop finding these videos that are going to piss you off. Stop going out and searching for the negativity then. If you want all positive, stop searching for the negativity. If you want all good Star Wars and a quote unquote good Star Wars and only hear good stories, then stop searching for the negative shit. Because you know what? Facts don't care about your feelings. I know I'm speaking the truth here. You don't like the facts? Then stop coming to them so your feelings don't get hurt. Okay, let me see here. Based, what's up? Mates are based in Malpilt. Hey, OG, did you notice how Chow, Hayden, and Ewan are saying things to antagonize the fan prior to the Kenobi airing? Yeah, that's what we've been kind of talking about here. And hopefully we can talk about more of it on the Spacing Friday. We're going to fully discuss this article, all of that. So stay tuned for that. That's why I didn't fully discuss it here. I only discussed one certain topic from it. Ancient One, hello, Stig. Yeah, you guys are conversing here. I'm still peeved about the disbanding of LucasArts, right? That was amazing. They did have some stuff going on behind scenes prior to the selling of Star Wars. But still, I mean, too bad they couldn't just clean things up and then still keep the LucasArts under its name. But they didn't. They went back and reverted back to the original before they named it LucasArts. That's okay. Have a good one. Thank you for joining in. We're going to start closing out pretty soon because I have to go pick up the child from high school. Holocron Library Fox, best time for some, thank you so much. Yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and start concluding from here now. Thank you guys so much. Please go watch that video from Open Airlock Policy about, Ewan and Hayden discussing about that. Basically, George was tying up the ends of between E3 and E4 when it comes to the duels. Go ahead and watch that. Go ahead and watch his canon video if you haven't as well. And stay tuned for tomorrow morning, because tomorrow morning, 9:30 a.m., just pushed off half an hour later, coffee chat. So we're going to basically discuss Sith lore, Rule of Two. I'm just going to keep harnessing this dark side of me right now. We're going to have some fun. And again, let me go ahead and take this stuff off the screen here, because we don't want to look at that shit. So look at that. So I'll be drinking out of this, and you can get your very own. You can get a mug. There's 2 different type of mugs. You can get a bottle and other material. You can get a t-shirt and all that. So there's many options there, however you want to support the merch here. I'm really just loving. And, it gave me the option of just using one, but then I decided to use multiple, because why not? Can't have enough Ventress, right? Can't have enough Ventress. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. I appreciate every single one of you. This is very spontaneous, and I adore you guys. Thank you guys again for the continued support to the subscribers, people who are new visiting the channel, and even the channel members. And if you can afford, become a member. Become a member. Thank you so much again for tuning in. Thank you for allowing me to rant to you guys a little bit and blow off some steam as well, and just giving my opinion. And hopefully the information I provided for you will help you really settle in your mind on what's really going on, and how dishonest Disney, Lucasfilm, and their associates are with what's coming out with the Kenobi show. So thank you guys again, and may the Force be with you.
Another happy landing.
I have fought the worst of all wars and witnessed the redemption of evil. I have seen balance restored to the Force. But order can turn to chaos, as it did when I was born. Now, with my loved ones and my loyal allies, I face a new challenge unlike any before. And I'm not sure this time we can win.
Star Wars Vector Prime by R.A. Salvatore, the first novel of the new Jedi Order.